Okay. I think we're back. W2VW from W2BTK. Should be streaming now. Things are... Yeah, looks like we're good.
Yeah, far out. Well, while you were doing that, I put away 4 screwdrivers and a cordless drill, a bunch of drill bits, and a few other things. Got a big toolbox just outside this room here. There's stuff everywhere, Billy. You gotta see this place.
Well, it's easy for me to imagine. You've seen my place, so is it worse than that?
Right now it is.
Yeah. Well, I know how it gets. If I started doing something in there, like if I was working on the 810s, it would be worse.
How are you, my friend?
Hey, who's that out there?
Hello, there is something in Mexico. It's Apollo. Extra Echo 2, Alpha Radio Papa. It's very, very strong signal, the 2 station. How are you? ¿Todo bien?
What is it? Echo 2 Alpha Radio Papa, W2BTK. Doing very well, very well. Good to hear you, man. Just out here talking to Dave. I'm not sure if you hear W2VW out there as well, but he is if you want to say hello. And, good day.
Roger, good day, and see you later. My English is poquito, is very poor English, my friend. Very, very strong signal, the 2 stations. Saludos. Saludos de Mexico is 3:48 p.m. and the temperature 33 degrees centigrados. Beautiful signal, and beautiful audio. It's 59 plus 20. Very, very strong. Okay, pues gracias. Good weekend, good day. 73, see you later. Y hasta la vista, mis amigos.
Okay, QSL. Very good. It's, my QTH is Phillipsburg, New Jersey, USA, and it's raining here, very rainy, and about 4:48 p.m. in the afternoon, and not good weather, but that's okay. My Espanol is very poquito as well, so I'm glad that I heard you. Oh, your signal is S9, beautiful copy. So, all right, E2 Alpha Radio Papa, W2BTK.
Okay, WB2, what?
It's W2BTK.
Okay, Whiskey 2, B, Bravo, Toronto, Kilo, huh? Okay. Okay, thank you, gracias. Good Spanish, poco a poquito. My English very full. Is the basic ahí por QSO, puro coffee and donut, ¿no? Okay, gracias. 73 and good day, my friend.
Okay, 73. Thank you, gracias.
Gracias a ustedes. Saludos.
Salud.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, man, I wonder if he hears you.
What was this call? Was it EA2ARP? Is that right? From W2VW. W2 very weak calling.
Good coffee, good coffee. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my friend. Good coffee in Mexico.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was going over somebody in España out there, XE2ARP, Armando. Yeah. You're doing okay here. About the same as last time we spoke. I'm using a different amplifier this time, though. A little bit more power. But good to hear you, Armando. XE2ARP from W2VW.
Roger. Okay. Okay, gracias. Thank you very much, my friend. The information ID.
Well, Billy, you may not be hearing me with where my antenna's pointed.
And Mexico is
You guys are doubling.
1 hour. Okay, gracias. 73. Hasta see you later y hasta la vista, my friend.
Okay, muchas gracias, Armando. When the signal is up, it's stick on the wave when it's good. Stick on the wave 73. Good dia. W2 very weak.
Okay, gracias. Your signal is 89. 89 is very, very strong. The signal the other station is a 9 plus 30. Very, very strong. Okay, thank you. 73. Vamos al dinner, a la comida.
All right. Well, good dias. Vaya con dias. Talk to you next time.
Roger. Gracias. 73.
Have a nice dinner, Armando.
Roger. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be fun to move this antenna towards Mexico. That would be a blast, Billy.
Yeah, I think he said you were like a plus 30 over there as well. Stronger than I was. So that, yeah, if you turn toward him, whew.
Yeah, he may be getting me backscatter. Who knows?
That's cool, though. Yeah, I thought it was Armando, but I wasn't exactly sure. It sounded like the same call, but I haven't written anything down. I really should.
Is it still the 11th?
Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder anymore. All the work that I did in this room the past few days.
It's my my niece's birthday.
Well, happy birthday. Going to take Tommy's son out for dinner for his birthday. That's coming up very soon. His odometer's flipping over too.
Man, yeah. It's a big one. Didn't get to do much for mine, but I went out to dinner last night with my parents because I haven't seen them in a couple months now. You know, since we were trying to plan that, so we had a nice dinner last night. Entree was so good. Pêche à la Mans. Just, oh man. There's this place called the Regalsville Inn. That's right on the PA, New Jersey border. We're by one of those free bridges that goes over, and just right there on the water. It's a really old building, and they just have this nice kind of quaint restaurant in there. It's awesome if you ever are in that area, which you probably won't be too much, but that place is great.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. And yeah, that's where everybody's supposed to be going 25 and they're all going 50.
Oh, you can't go 50 past that thing, man. It's like a tight, like, it's like a 1.5 lane bridge that 2 lanes of traffic goes over, and then it's just windy turns and stuff. Like, I'm watching the bridge people like turn trailers around that are trying to go through there and stuff, and yeah, you can't go anything close to 50 past that.
Maybe you can't, and maybe I can't, but I know people who can and would. Of course, they don't have any sense.
Man, that would be something. I mean, it would end spectacularly one way or another.
Yeah. Well, I put all these plants in the garage, and they're in back of the tractor, so later on when I do have to go rescue the antenna, I need to move all that stuff. And we got 2 Lazarus plants here. They were dead, and they came back to life. One of them is a money tree that we thought was dead. It had no leaves on it for months. And the other is a gardenia that I used to have in my shack in the other place. You may remember it, maybe not. Anyway, we put it in the ground, and it froze, and it died. So I pulled out what was left of it and threw it in the woods. In the spring, it was growing in the woods.
Man, yeah, see, that's your plant. You should go, well, I'm sure, I don't know, that you gotta have a plant. I've had my plant, you know about my plant, spider plant, that I've had since like 4th grade, well over 30 years. And it's just here, it's right here, I'm looking at it right now. It's trying to crawl out of its pot right now, like, seriously, like, it's really trying to crawl out of that thing. So me and my mom, we're gonna repot this thing. It'd definitely take 2 people to do it, and then I think old Spidey will be happy.
Yeah, well, every prisoner's duty is to try to escape, so you can't blame it.
No, it's probably, I mean, dude, this thing is huge. This spider plant is massive, you know, so it's just like, screw this little thing. It broke the side of it, like it split it, whatever its roots were doing. It literally split this large plastic, you know, plant, it's like an outdoor plant holder right down the corner. Had to tape it up, and it's still trying to grow out of this thing.
You don't know what you're messing with, boy.
Man, old Spidey, and Spidey has like clones out there. My mom has one at her house, one of the spiders she planted and grew. My brother has one. So, you know, it's spread out. Like this spider plant could very well outlive us all.
It's just another mean green mother from outer space.
That's right.
Good old Levi Stubbs. That's who did that voice.
Is there another station in there?
There is. I think it's ground wave. I'm hearing you. KB3BB, Kilo Bravo 3, Bravo Bravo, in Bucks County in Yardley, Pennsylvania. Over.
Yeah, KB3BB from W2BTK. I'm right over here. I heard you're in Bucks County. I'm over in New Jersey, but right on the border in Phillipsburg. It's basically just east of Easton, Pennsylvania. And talking to Dave, W2VW, down there near the Mason-Dixon line. And I'm not sure if you copy him.
Oh, wow. I should be hearing him better than I am, I guess. But I don't think I have the antenna for it. I'm just using an off-center fed dipole. I'll let you guys continue. I just wanted to get a quick hello in. I'm hearing you. I hear him, sort of, but I'm not well enough to copy, unfortunately. So hello from Bob in Bucks County, Yardley, Pennsylvania, KB3BB. Over.
Yeah, good copy, Bob. You're definitely holding in there. Good ground wave. Didn't miss anything. About I would say like an S6, S7 copy maybe like 30 dB SNR though, so you're coming up over the noise, and it's very, very good copy. So Dave's running a directional antenna over there. I'm just running a doublet. It's actually a 160, well, somewhere between 80 meter and 160 meter length doublet that I'm on here with right now. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, that might have something to do with why you're not hearing Dave as well. But yeah, good stuff, Bob. And you know, thanks for checking in. I'm hearing you great.
Excellent, excellent. Dave, if you're hearing me, hello to you as well. Unfortunately, I don't have a good enough copy on you. So I'll let you guys carry on. I just wanted to quickly say hello. And it's great that you're on AM. That's terrific. I've got an Apache Labs radio here. I am running some power. Carrier's about 175 watts at the moment into this off-center antenna. So carry on, gentlemen. 73 W2BTK from KB3BB.
All right, KB3BB, W2BTK, 7.3, and just to throw it out there, I find it interesting. You got your SDR Apache Labs. I love those things, but I'm running a Johnson Viking 2 into a homebrew linear that Dave actually built. It's a YC156 final and doing about 400 watts carrier right now. So kind of throwing it out there. Yeah. So, all right, Bob, 7.3. I don't think Dave hears you. You probably would have keyed up, but good stuff, man. I hope I catch you out here again. Not enough people on AM. AM is the best mode, in my opinion. Well, it's my favorite mode. So, yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, Bob, 7.3.
7.3. Well, it sounds great, and you know, when conditions are good enough, I agree with you. 7.3. Enjoy, and please pass along my hello to Dave. This is KB3BB. Bye-bye.
Oh, one more thing I should say, Bob. I am running a live stream on YouTube right now. So if you want to see exactly how I'm receiving you over here at my station, I got the pan adapter and the waterfall going with the received audio. It's actually live streaming to YouTube right now. So if you search for 631NJ on YouTube, then you should be able to find it if you're interested. Anyway, 7.3.
Looking for it now. 631 there, 29980 amateur radio. Let me open it up here. Live. Okay. And oh, there I am. How about that? Okay. Well, no, maybe this is time displaced because now I'm not seeing anything. Or maybe now I'm seeing it. Maybe there was another station, or maybe I was doubling it or something. I'm sorry. I see myself now. Very good. W2BTK from KB3BB.
Yeah, there is about, I don't know, a 20, maybe 30-second delay on that live feed going to YouTube, so that's probably it. But, yeah, you can, once it wraps up, you can watch it later or whatever from that channel. So, all right, man, 7.3, and I guess I'll throw it back to Dave. He's out there.
Yeah, I could hear Bob, but I can't hear him. It's just too much. My noise blanker doesn't work on this radio. This radio is going back upstairs, and I'll bring something else in here for an exciter now that I only need 2 watts. Otherwise, I would have heard him. Yeah, he's 60 miles away and 60 degrees, so I'm at currently 35 degrees, but this should be enough. But what was he using for an antenna, Billy? W2VW.
He said he was off-center fed dipole, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man. See the live streams, good stuff. We got Armando, we got Bob, I'm glad I fired this thing up.
You know, I worked a few guys across the pond on here earlier. Conditions weren't great, but they were usable.
Yeah, the band doesn't seem like awesome right now, but what you're doing is very, very consistent. I got my 7.5K audio. Let's try something else. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, I haven't seen any other signals really, so I'll include the.
Yeah, I'm listening at 20K wide. Might as well.
Yeah, that's where I have it truncated at the moment. Oh, what you mean, like 40K overall or 20K audio?
Oh, I'm listening RF bandwidth 20 kilohertz.
Ah, okay, yeah. So that should be everything. Yeah, that's right where I'm rolling it off. This receiver, I think I can go out to 40K. So if somebody was, you know, including all that information, I could pick it up, I think. Let me try. That'll make the live stream sound weird.
Yeah, I haven't proofed this radio in a long time, but I think it'll transmit. It would probably transmit 20 kilohertz audio.
I don't know about this Viking, but I know that the Quadrature QAM setup will do it.
Yeah, I think the Viking, there's a few bypass caps in there that would probably stop that. Not all of it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I get a good amount. That's what I'm using right now. I mean, this is all you need. I can take it out fully, but this is the last setting. I think it's like 4.5, 5, 6, 7.5, 10, and full.
Well, sounds like $1 million.
Hey, thanks, man. Really letting the peaks fly.
You know, it helps with this path that we have.
Yeah, man. I'll send you a picture, a quick video of my scope. It's really stupid.
Yeah, maybe I'll walk over to the audio stuff here and turn the highs up some too. Speaking of stupid.
So yeah, just hello, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's. It never looks quite right on the cellular phone, but it's a video for you anyway.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you notice any difference from before, but I've got high frequencies that are going way out, and I can see their. Don't even have to look at anything. I could tell.
All right, so. That first video didn't work, so I'll just do another one. I just widened the receiver out to... Ah, crap. I just widened the receiver out to 20K. I'm trying to look at this while I hold the phone up to the scope and not look at the scope while I speak, because it makes me... I get like the syndrome. I don't do normal. Oh man, this might be a whole video of like the side of the scope. This sucks.
You can't help yourself. You're just like I am. You make more work for yourself. Let me try this. Let me do this. Oh, let me see this.
No, just when I look at the scope, I speak differently. Like, it's stupid. I'm trying to... I don't know. If I don't look at it, it just works better.
Oh, I understand that. Believe me.
I tried to get you a video of me speaking and not looking at the scope. That first video didn't work, so I'll just do another one. I just widened it's me. Receiver out.
It sounds just like you.
Who was that guy?
Have you cloned yourself? You could send your clone into work and stay home now.
I gotta ask the cat what just happened. Boo boo.
Take me to your leader.
Boo Boo's snoozing. She likes radio. Like, she always comes over here and tucks up while I'm on the radio. Not this. Well, no, she does it on the CB too.
She's like, yeah, Billy's planning on catching some more mice somewhere. I know it.
She caught a mouse the other day, like full on. I think it's the first time where she actually caught and like got it. And I heard her making like weird sounds, like ah, like something might be wrong. But she was just trying to wake me up and show me that she had a mouse. Like, she put it over there by her toys. And I was like, oh, that's gross. But I was like, oh, Boo Boo, that's so good. You're such a good cat. I gave her a little treat, and I was like, went back to bed. But she was so proud of it.
Oh yeah, they bring them to you too. I get that here. I had a cat leaving me mice in the driveway.
Oh, that's, that's like what they do. She'll come over here and try to help me. She has no idea what this computer stuff is, but she sees that I'm there and I'm like attentive to it. So she'll like come and try to get on the keyboard or press a key or something. And I'm like, I can't get mad at her because she just wants to be near me and a part of what I'm doing. And she wants to like help, so I'm really nice to her. Oh, Boo Boo, thank you. You're such a help, And that's probably why she loves me.
Yeah, that's cool. I could use her over here to help me clean the shack.
She's not that great at cleaning, but she can rearrange stuff a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm still getting down to having 0 dogs here, Not getting any better.
Yeah, man, I know how that is. It's been a really, really, really long time since we lost Petey, and every day I still think about that dog. It hasn't subsided at all. But, it's just part of life.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, we're coming up on a year of that next month. And that's that. On to the next subject. W2VW. So I have this VFO here that goes with a brown and golden eagle. It's a PAL VFO. I found it in my pile of stuff. And I had to do a little bit to it, but I got it working here, and it's playing into the frequency counter. We're going to just put it for sale on one of these places to get rid of it. I've had it for 21 years. It makes like a 23 megahertz signal. Anyway, I took the top off of it while I was working on it, and this is earlier today, and I can't find the top. That's how bad it is.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're there. I know exactly what that's like. It happens to me a lot now, especially in the morning when I'm trying to leave and get all my stuff together. Like, I'll be walking around my phone and I'll put it down, and it's just gone.
I'm telling you, there's something happening out there that ain't right.
There's a lot happening that ain't right. My parents were just in Sweden visiting our new relatives, and that was a really great trip, but my dad had some kind of issue with one of the knuckles on his finger. Like, it got really inflamed and swollen, and they didn't know why. Like, he couldn't really move it very well. Just woke up like that. And he was like, oh, I'll just tough it out. I'll get home, see my doctor and this and that. And they were like, no. Like, we're going to take you to the doctor. And apparently in Sweden, you can, like, go to the hospital or a doctor or something, get treated, like, all its stuff, this, that, the other thing, and it's free. It's, like, no money. And they do a really good job. He was saying, like, they really took care of him, and like he was like, well, where do I pay, like this or that? They were like, no, like there's no payment or any, like all that stuff is just free. Like you can just go to the doctor and get patched up, and they help you for no money. That blew my mind and just made me think like, wow, I'm reading articles about our for-profit medical stuff, and now they're going to use like AI to determine whether the insurance will pay for medical procedures or not. You know, like it's just, wow, very, very, very opposite. I think that's pretty screwed up.
Yeah, well, sooner or later somebody pays either way. You got to figure that. So somebody's paying over there too. Probably the government is set up to do that. They've got a surplus somewhere. And I would imagine that if you overstayed your visa over there, you'd be in a heck of a hot water situation pretty quickly.
Yeah. But I just think about all the surplus and the lining of pockets and all that stuff that's going on. Dude, there's probably surplus to do something like that. I'm all for capitalism. Like, I think it's great. Free markets, that's my thing. But the capitalism that we have at this, like, late kind of stage in it, and it just seems very bastardized.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems because you've got regulations, but the regulations aren't even-handedly enforced. And now they're throwing stuff at you because you happen to be a Caucasian and you're supposed to be paying for other people and all this other crazy crap.
Yeah, race, the big distraction. It's like, what the hell, man? Just get our crap together a little bit. Something like, you know, healthcare. You should be able to go to a hospital, like, you know, not every day, but every once in a while. You have a big issue, you shouldn't be sitting there like, oh, I don't have insurance. Like, you should be able to go for free, and they send you on your way. I think that's cool. I think we could do that because, you know what, that's better. And you're right, somebody does pay for it, but, dude, I imagine the government, it's like a big cow eating a big bucket of grain, right? And like we all get our grain. They're just eating out of the bucket, and then they take a big crap, and we come around, and that's how we get our grain. We eat it out of the big pile of, you know, excrement from this giant cow. Dude, we could make that happen. We could definitely make that happen.
Gee, Billy, wow, that's the best explanation I've ever heard of our government.
Yeah, it sucks, you know? So it's like being able to go to a hospital like you can in Sweden. Like, come on, man.
I know the last guy that said that come on, man stuff.
Yeah, I better refrain.
Look where he is.
Yeah. W2BTK.
W2 very weak.
Kilo 5 Radio Whiskey Delta Mobile.
Kilo 5 Radio Whiskey Delta Mobile. You're booming here in New Jersey, W2BTK.
W2BTK K5RWD Mobile. Good afternoon, and good afternoon, David. I know David out there. I've talked to him many times. I thought I'd try it. I didn't think you guys would hear me in a mobile, but apparently you do. Good afternoon from San Antonio, Texas.
Can you hear him, Dave?
I can tell he's there, but I can't make him out. I'm aiming the wrong way. That's the same guy you were hearing before up the band, only he wasn't mobile.
Ah, very good. Yeah, he said that he's spoken to you many times before. I'm hearing him at like S8, S9 over here. Very good.
Yeah, right. You two guys go ahead. I'll put some more tools away. You two very weak.
Yeah, this is Kilo 5 Romeo Whiskey Delta. I hear you out there, David, but base to mobile is probably not, mobile space is not going to work too well. I hear you, but the other gentleman is a lot stronger out of the Northeast. Mobile here, K5RWD.
Yeah, K5RWD. Name is Bill over here. And I know Dave is running a directional antenna right now, so that would be a little tough. I think he's pointed about 35 degrees right now, so that wouldn't help between you guys. But yeah, you're coming in great over here. Just mobile radio. What do you have over there? Just a radio?
Yeah, just a 2G here in the mobile. I jump up here on AM once in a while to see if I can make it work here on AM. It's not the greatest mobile in the world, but it seems to work okay. So I'm running a 102-inch whip, just what the radio's putting out, no power or nothing else.
Yeah, man, that's great. You're doing excellent over here for radio power and a 102-inch whip. That's impressive, but I don't know. I might have a lobe over there to Texas, because I'm always hearing 5 calls pretty loud. I'm running like it's about a 140-foot long center-fed dipole right now, and so the pattern, I'm transmitting off the feed line, who knows where I have lobes. My pattern's probably like a big clover leaf, but I do believe I probably have a lobe over there. And yeah, man, you're coming in wonderfully.
Yeah, copy that. I'm all up and down. I'm out here driving in the hill country and going in and out of peaks and valleys over here, up and down hills. And right now I'm down in a valley. I'd be surprised if you can hear me right now. I just dipped way down into a valley, but actually I'm going back uphill now. But yeah, you're just hammering in here. Big signal, no problem, no noise behind you or anything at all. An incredible signal coming out of your region there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Running about 400 watts right now, but you're hanging in there through all that. You dip down to about an S6. You're floating between S6 and S8, and I'm not missing anything, hearing it all. So, yeah, that's really impressive, man.
Yeah, I think Mother Nature has lifted up her skirt a little bit today. Like David was right, I was up there on 29010 and 020 here for about an hour here a little while ago on my SDR radio, working a couple of guys out there. So I decided to jump on my mobile and go meet my brother and go have a couple of beers out here in the hill country, Roger.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. And if that was you on 29010, yeah, whatever you were doing before, that signal was tremendous. Like getting into the 60 dB SNR zone. So yeah, I'm gonna confirm that I have a lobe over to your area.
Yeah, I think we can confirm that for sure, because you're booming even here in the mobile. And typically, it's kind of a hodgepodge, mostly mist. But you're hitting it all the way through here, even through these peaks and valleys without any dropouts at all. So, yeah, 100% copy over here.
Yeah, K5RWD, W2BTK. If you're interested later when you get home, you can check on YouTube. I'm actually live streaming my receiver right now, so you can see the waterfall, S-meter, and pan adapter. And, you know, if you're interested in how you're sounding over here, I didn't catch any of your, when you were on your base station there, but yeah, this mobile QSO, you can definitely go check it. If you go to 631NJ on YouTube, you pretty much just search that and it should come up. You should be able to find it on that channel, but I don't know if you'd have anything to write that down with or anything, but it's there. You could probably search my call sign or Dave's call sign also to find some of that stuff.
Yeah, sorry, I heard most of that. Somebody came in there on top of you on that last over there. But yeah, I caught most of it. I'll need to get your call sign, and unfortunately I'm driving, so I can't really write much down here. I'm not sure if you can grab my email. Grab my email address off of QRZ if you have a logbook or something, and then you can just send me an email, and I'll go. I'm definitely curious on checking that out. It'd be kind of cool to hear how my signal and stuff's working out here in the mobile there, Roger.
Yeah, QSL. Just yeah, give me your email address, and I'll send you a direct link to this QSO.
Okay, yeah, my email is on my QRZ page. It's dlambeth@hotmail.com. That's Delta, Lima, Alpha, Mike, Bravo, Echo Tango Hotel at hotmail.com.
All right, very good. I'm going to look you up, and I'll send you an email, so you'll be able to check this out.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. I'll check it out when I get home. I'll listen in here for a few more minutes. I got about another 15-minute drive here, but I'll let David jump back in there, and I'll just kind of monitor in here. K5RWD Mobile.
Hey, K5RWD, W2BTK. Dave, you still in there? I know he went to like sort screws, or he's cleaning up the shack. A little bomb went off. He was working on his linear.
Yeah, I'm still listening to you guys.
Yeah, so he's headed out to have a drink, and we'll be in the mobile for about 15 minutes. But you probably heard what I was saying.
I can almost hear him. He's got a pretty good mobile signal. And again, it's the noise blanker in this particular radio. It just doesn't have it. I'm going to fix that problem. I am.
Yeah, I heard you loud and clear down here at that time.
I heard the words "that time."
There's also another station trying to break in.
All right, Billy, you pick up all this traffic. I'll be listening. W2 very weak.
Okay, don't mean to interrupt. I figured I'd jump in while AM is active. Kilo Delta 0 Victor Uniform Yankee.
Okay, Kilo Delta 0 Uniform Victor Yankee from Whiskey 2 Bravo Tango Kilo. Your very good signal over here. I didn't have my eye on the S meter, but very strong copy.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hopefully I'm sounding okay. I rarely run AM on this setup. I'm on the 7300, but appreciate it. Yeah, you've been a 5.9, peak in S9 and dropping to S5, but great audio, easy copy. I was just tuning around, listening for the last 10 minutes, and figured I'd jump in. I love AM, and when I heard that 10 was open, anti-contact on single sidebands, I figured I like to check up here and then on the FM portion as well. Name is Dirk, Delta India Romeo Kilo. I'm in Windsor, Colorado, about an hour north of Denver. W2BTK from KD0VEY.
All right, Dirk. Yeah, you're coming in beautifully about S8 over here, and copy on the 7300 ICOM. It sounds fine. It's really clear. You've got communications bandwidth, but very clear. You can actually, if you are interested in knowing exactly how you sound, I was just telling them about this. I'm running a live stream on YouTube that you can find by searching 631NJ, I believe 631NJ. So, yeah, there's about a 20-second delay, but if you're near a computer, you can do that.
Yeah, I already got it pulled up. I heard you mention that earlier, and I just, off your QRZ, I clicked on the link, so I always like that kind of stuff. Yeah, got my computer that always on when the radio's on, so got it muted right now, obviously, but I'll definitely go back and check it out. What are you running? Is this, are you on an SDR, or, it looks really clean. Anyway, what you got going on?
I'm running 1950s commercially produced, it's a Viking 2 exciter, except I'm using an externally modulated setup on it. It's like a Crown 800-watt amplifier with custom modulation transformers based on Stu AB2EZ's design, putting them in series to get the right turns ratio. And then I just, I use that instead of the whatever 807s I think this had in it previously. and that's running into a linear amplifier about 400 watts.
Nice. Yeah, I figured you were on a boat anchor or a plate modulator of some kind. I know nothing about those, but they sound fantastic because your audio's got that quality to it, that nice AM sound that the Japanese radios just don't do, as I'm sure you know. But maybe one day I will take that's like a sub hobby of ham radios, the AM stuff, but I love the sound of it. Yeah, I like your millennials on the air. I'm 37. But I've been doing this since I was 11 years old, and always enjoyed this hobby for sure. And I noticed like a lot of the guys, younger guys, are on Parks on the Air and FT8, which I've been doing that. I was kind of against it, but I've been doing that lately, and I've actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It's different for sure, but beats a rag shoe. But anyway, yeah, I'm on a 7300, doing about how much? I'm on an AL80B here, so peaking 500, and the antenna, I'm getting like a little bit of feedback somewhere. I don't know if you're hearing that, but antenna is a DX Commander, mounted vertical, so nothing too fancy. That's the setup over here. Back to you.
Yeah, good stuff, Dirk. Well, you're on a vertical. I'm using a horizontally polarized deal, but I'm sure there's vertical element to it. It's like a 140-foot long dipole, so I'm probably transmitting off the vertical feed line and everything. But yeah, it was really, really good stuff. You've been in ham radio longer than I have, but I don't turn my nose up at that FT8 stuff. I kind of like it. I've done a lot of it. I got my DXCC with FT8, which is, it's not that cool, but I did it on 20 meters mostly. But FT8 is really, really cool for dialing in antennas, man. You go to that website called PSK Reporter and just call CQ with your FT8 setup for a while. You get signal strength readings from all over the world. Just populate right there on the map, and that is one of the most useful tools I've ever seen for amateur radio that you do with FT8. So there's merit to that stuff. Parks on the Air, all that. I've had a lot of fun doing stuff like that. Field day, we had a 3-element on a 50-foot tower we put up for one field day. It's stand-up tower. We guide it with mule tape, and we had 3 elements on 20, just working pile-ups all day on field day, and that was great fun for me. I think there's videos of that stuff too on my channel if you go there. But anyway, yeah, that's good stuff, man. It's a lot of different ways to have fun in the hobby. I think AM is my favorite though. So I wonder if Dave has a copy on you, Dirk.
Yeah, I'll listen for him.
Hey, Dirk, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. A little bit of a light copy, but I'm making your audio out, so hopefully you're hearing me. Go ahead.
Yeah, right now I am. You're above the noise level here, which is pretty high. I'm located in southeastern Pennsylvania. I'm 76 miles away from Billy, so we're working each other over a ground wave path. And it's a really extended path, so it takes the QRO on both ends and blah, blah, blah. And I'm running a 7-element monobander that's aimed at 35 degrees, and I can't move it, so you're getting who knows what from me. Most of the energy's not going towards you. Go ahead.
Yeah, your audio is great. I don't have much of a signal on you, but I'm hearing every word. So you're making it, and I'm making it. So I don't, on 10 meters on this ground-mounted vertical, I kind of struggle. So I'm surprised you guys are hearing me as well as you are. But yeah, I think it's Billy, right? That's what Dave just said. I didn't ask your name, but maybe you said it, and I just wasn't paying attention, which that happens. But yeah, to your point about FT8s and PSK reporter, yeah, I completely agree. When I discovered that thing, that's something that I kind of dreamed about when I was a kid operating radio. So it is cool to see where your signal's going. And I also, I was kind of I was against FT8 for the longest time, and then once I had a baby in spring of 2024, I'm like, yeah, I'll give this a try, because I just didn't have the time to like have a QSO, and I didn't have any help from family. It was just my fiance and I in Illinois at the time, so it was easy to still enjoy the hobby with not getting I didn't have to focus too much on a QSO, and then I just got hooked on it. But it gets kind of boring after a while. Anyway, yeah, Dave, the monobander is working great, even though it may not be pointed at me, but well, what's your call sign, Dave? I'm going to bring the QRZ log back to you.
So I just got a text-o-matic from Dave. I think something like going is transmit relay, but he can still hear us fine. Dave's call is Whiskey 2 Victor Whiskey. That's very weak.
All right, Whiskey 2 Victor Whiskey. Got it. Okay, cool. So yeah, it looks like you guys are both into the AM stuff. Yeah, that might be an avenue. I mean, AM is easy on the for sure. It's way nicer to listen to than single sideband, and that's where I started. I started on CB when I was 11 years old. Now all I had was a 40-channel AM radio, but I was able to work the world. That was in '99, and it was a really good solar cycle. So off of like 10 watts or whatever that was doing on the Antron 99, I was like talking to Australia on AM for like a 2-hour QSO. It was incredible. So I do miss the sound of AM. But all right, cool. Well, I appreciate you guys letting me jump in there. Yeah, you're still holding up fine. Hopefully Dave gets that worked out. W2BTK from KD0VUI.
KD0UVY W2BTK. Yeah, I'm sure he'll figure it out, something. He's been doing a lot of work on his setup over there, and it's a little crazy, but he'll be back. Yeah, AM, I started the same way on CB radios. Had a lot of fun with that, and I never really got into the slot bucket, SSB, or any of that kind of stuff. I just went right to basically a plate modulated exciter on 75 meters, and I hung out there for a real long time until I got bored. Then I started getting on 160. Now I'm kind of exploring 10. And like you said, here on 10 meters is the only place I had. The other day I was talking to a guy in Portugal for like an hour, just straight, comfortable copy, just back and forth. And that blows my mind, man. Doing stuff like that doesn't really happen anywhere else. This band is pretty cool, and finding people on AM on this band is even better, because like you said, AM is just, I don't know, it's cool. It's advanced modulation, W2BTK.
Exactly, advanced modulation. Yeah, it's just the sound of it is so much better. But I mean, I got into single sidebands. I was living in Southern California at the time when all I had was AM, and then there were so many locals on CB that were hams also, so they got me into ham radio. I had to learn code and all that back then, but they were telling me, yeah, if you want to talk to Europe, you got to get on sideband. And I'm like, oh, Europe, yeah. So, and in California, like, Europe's a little harder to get. So, once I got a sideband radio, it was like a President Washington that had like the clarifier and stuff, and I was working Europe constantly. So then I was hooked on single sideband, and I got into HF and never really looked back. I mean, I'll go check on tune on 11 meters to see, that's kind of a good gauge too, to see if 10's open. I'll tune around like the busy channels down there, and if I hear a lot of strong signals and I know 10's open, and then possibly 6, or you can just go to the FT8 frequency too. But that's kind of before FT8. I would always kind of dial around 11 to see if 10 would be open, and then I'll get on 28 around the 400s. And then I just okay, I'll come up here to see what's going on. I heard a little bit of the FM, one of the FM repeaters, I think that's on the East Coast, coming through, but not very strong. So every once in a while I'll try to get into one of those. But good to hear activity on 10 on AM and this clear. And yeah, when it's open, and it'll last for hours. And there's really when the QSB hits, that's when you know like it's done. Like it just drops and it's out. But it's not noisy too. That's the other nice thing. Like the lower bands, so you get some really clean QSOs and not a lot of not a lot of traffic either. So, but I like 80 meter AM and 40 meter AM. There's a lot of groups down there that are running similar to what you're running. So, like I said, maybe I'll explore that sometime. But it is, to me, it's like a sub hobby and a whole other investment. That I have so many other things going on, being a musician and a producer and stuff. It's just like I have to delegate the finances accordingly. So as much as I would like to have something AM worthy, but one of these days I have a hex beam that's laying on the ground that I need to put up at some point. So I'd like to get that up and get something directional. Back to you.
Oh man, that's so cool. I'm big into music too. Recording. I was a live sound engineer for over a decade before I became an electrician. I have a degree from Berkeley, like everything. I'm way into it too, and I'm trying to decide, like, do I want to spend a little bit of cash to get something where I can have a little bit of a workflow, like recording things, this, that in the house, and I'm debating on that. But the AM stuff, you got to spend a little here and there, but mostly, as far as boat anchors and stuff like that, people throw them away. You just have to, you got to do a little work on them, patch stuff together here and there. But you can find a lot of good cast off junk that you get on the air if you're into AM. So I don't know, but dude, that's really cool. You said you're into music production?
Yeah, I actually just kind of started music production. I've done live sound for little gigs. I've been a musician a really long time, but I've always like sound system and producing is kind of where my heart's at over playing live. I've played live quite a bit, and so I mostly do like reggae dub, that kind of stuff. I love metal too, but I haven't produced any metal. So I just released a couple tracks that I have out there. So I'm actually kind of new to producing. It's been a little over a year now that I've gotten serious about it anyway. And I'm happy with what I've got out there so far. So I do everything though. I create all the music and do the mixing and the mastering, and then I worked on a friend's track like from his band and did like a dub version. So I got a pretty good ear for it, but nothing formal. So that's cool that you got that. Live sound. I'd like to do more live sound. I've done that here and there, but for like small gigs, not at like a big venue, which I'd love to do that. So I know how things are supposed to sound, and I do have like a preference for how things Like I like a little sub bass, and so my next project's going to be building a sound system, which is going to be very expensive, and it's kind of like unique to a certain genre within reggae. You know, it's like a wall of speakers basically, and you DJ, and you know, a bunch of people get into it. It's kind of like electronic, and there's some live instrument stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. What are you? What's the genre of choice for you? Go ahead.
Well, I haven't really mixed or done any of that stuff in a few years now. I'm really into metal too. I like reggae and dub stuff. I've mixed a little bit of that live. One really, really good band from New York called Groundswell. I have a recording of that right off the board. That came out great. I like, metal, reggae. I like indie music, a lot of stuff like that. Like, I guess you'd say like, I don't know, like emo indie, that kind of Midwest, late 90s stuff. But as far as mixing and all that experience with live sound, I worked at a club in Long Beach, New York for a long time. And they would have cover bands come in every weekend, Friday and Saturday. And, you know, it wasn't like crappy cover bands. I think these were like the $1,500 to $2,000 a night kind of cover band circuit. So, you know, it was like bigger names or whatever. I had an okay sound system. I had a Yamaha LS9 digital board, 32 channel. That thing was pretty cool. You know, but I would mix monitors and front of house off the same board. And mixing live, that's where the action is, man, because anything can happen. They're switching instruments, switching genres on the fly. You know, you've also got a DJ in between sets that you have to make sound good. And, you know, you got to be able to jump right on top of feedback. That's the singer decides to walk out into the crowd and do some goofy thing or whatever. You got to have your hand on that graphic EQ and know exactly what's going to happen. It's just, it's a lot of action, man. A lot of action mixing live sound, especially in a bar like that with cover bands playing every different genre you can think of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Groundswell. I'm surprised I haven't heard of them. I've been involved in the reggae scene for so long, but East Coast stuff, I guess now I think about it, with John Brown's Body, I think it's from New York if I remember right, and Groundation and them. But I grew up on the West Coast, and then I've lived in Colorado for quite a while, so that's cool. Yeah, reggae dub is pretty awesome, and if it's done right, I'm not really into the Cali kind of lightweight sound, but yeah, and mixing live, you're right. You got to deal with musicians getting crazy. I mean, I'm mostly on the other end, being in bands, is where most of my experience is. So I try to be as cooperative with the sound engineer as possible, and not be like I was never a guitar player, but I played keys and drums, but not turn up my amp once it's already set, and do something with the mic where you're creating feedback and all that. But yeah, you got to be paying attention. But not all sound engineers are paying attention or really care. Ideally, as a band, you want your own sound engineer, but usually, you have to be generating some income for that. But yeah, I've dealt with so many sound guys, some who have been phenomenal and some who have been just absolutely horrible. But yeah, live sound is where it's at. Yeah, I know the indie metal you're talking about, indie rock from the, I never got into that as much. I knew so many people in like middle school and high school that were into that, but I was heavy into reggae even as a kid, but also like a lot of the European metal to this day. Like I like a lot of that Scandinavian, like that big symphonic opera metal, man. I love that stuff. So anytime those bands come on tour in the U.S., like I'm there. And all the classic rock stuff. That's where it all started. My dad, played Black Sabbath and Judas Priest and Led Zeppelin and all that. I said Rush is probably my favorite in that that realm. I love all that stuff. So I'm not like, I'm multi-genre, but it's got to be like, it's got to have some power behind it. It's got to do it for me, and not everything does. But I know people hear things differently. But anyway, I didn't mean to rant about that. But I noticed there's a lot of hams that are also into music, whether it's playing instruments or production. I think it's just kind of like comes with the territory, right? Especially if you're into audio and things like getting your audio to sound good and all that. There's something like, I don't know, I guess the ham radio and music. W2BTK, KD0VUY.
KD0UVY from W2BTK. No, that makes sense. And it's funny you say that about bringing your own engineer, because in this particular room, I've seen a lot of bands do that, and it never quite sounded as, that great, because this room was like screwed up. You'd need the guy from the club to be mixing, and I had an iPad connected this thing. I could go downstairs to the main dance. This thing was 2 floors. I'd go downstairs and stand right on the floor and mix from there. Get it dialed, go upstairs, mess with it, and then my whole thing, man, is I would make the monitors on stage sound good. Like, you would get the band dancing and moving, And if it sounded real good and they were real comfortable and happy with their monitor mixes, you would get a better show every single time. And I think being a musician myself, classically trained, the whole nine, gives me an advantage. When I'm mixing monitors for a band, I know what it's like to be up there performing. I know what I would be looking for. I can kind of cue in, like I can just see by how they're playing, how they look. Are they comfortable? Are they not comfortable? And I can kind of, if I can make the band dance, I'm doing my job as a monitor engineer. Front of house is easy. You go make it sound good. But getting all those monitor mixes, 3, 4, 5 monitor mixes on stage, really good. The band's dancing and comfortable. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? And so with all that, it's not surprising that I gravitated toward like AM sounding good and stuff. Here, I'll play you like 5 seconds of Groundswell. Don't tell anybody. And that's recorded directly off the live soundboard from the club.
Nice, man. I'm actually surprised how clear that came through, but I know you've got some bandwidth, which helps. But I wasn't sure what to expect. But it actually sounded pretty good. Just coming through the speaker here. So that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I can tell they got a good sound just by listening. Yeah, the stuff I'm really into now is like the UK dub sound system stuff, where it's like a combination of like it's like house techno meets reggae. And it's really big in Europe. It's starting to gain some momentum here, but that's what I produce at home. And then I get singers that are popular in that scene to get on my tracks, which has kind of gotten my foot in the door, which is great. And but I love the classics, from the 70s and 80s, that Jamaican stuff. And then there's so many good bands out there. Reggae is kind of a small world. Like I said, I'm surprised I haven't heard of those guys, just because I've gone down the rabbit hole with bands for a long time. But always good. I'll have to check them out, see if they have anything streaming. I don't know if they're still active anymore or not, but you're right about the monitor mix, man. That is a game changer. I've played hundreds of shows, and if the monitor mix wasn't right, you really struggled to get locked in. Either there was times like where if I was playing keys, where my keys were way too loud, or they were just barely. I was basically hearing them through the front of house, and I'm just trying to. It completely ruins the vibe. And same when I'm on drums too. It's like I've got to have. It's not so bad because usually like the bass rig will be next to me. So that doesn't matter, but I gotta also hear the singer, and that can be kind of like, if I'm not hearing the singer through my monitor, then a lot of times that'll cue me for certain parts. And, at a certain point, like, you just know after playing for years the same songs, but that sometimes I'll get, like, this anxiety, like, oh, man, I can't hear the singer, and I'm, like, pointing at the singer and pointing at the sound guy, and yeah, you're right. If you can get that dialed in for a band, and yeah, especially you know what it's like to be up there. But there's like, there's basically a meme, right, of the angry sound guy, and I'm sure it's a real thing. So some sound guys are just so over the top angry. I understand they have to deal with a lot of morons that come in, but it's like, hey man, like I'm trying to help you so you can help me. So chill out. I've had to tell guys, like, you need to, like, chill out. Like, don't talk to me like that right off the bat, or I'm just not gonna. We're done here. But anyway, in-ears though. In-ears. That's what I was gonna say. That's kind of what the last band I was in, they ended right when I left the band, when I moved to Illinois. I just recently moved back to Colorado, but they switched to in-ears, which I notice a lot of bands are doing. So, like, you have your monitor mix already set to go, and you don't really have to worry about it. You use the in-ears and you're good to go. But I've done in-ears a few times, and I just with live streams and other session work, but yeah, I don't know, something about the in-ears, you kind of lose the feel. The monitor mix, I definitely prefer that. I feel like I'm kind of being suffocated with the in-ears, but I know that's definitely the preferred way, and a lot of bands will use, like the band I was in before, and a lot of others, like locally here, they use backing tracks, so like now the in-ears are like a must, and you have a click track in your ear and all this, which, if you, I don't know, it's kind of like with me and FT8 when it comes to that, like, I get it if you want backing tracks, but then, like, when you're playing live with the click track, it just, like, things become sterile. It's not the same. Anyway, I'm not going to, like, ramble about that, but good to talk with somebody about things other than signal reports and the weather. Back to you.
Yeah, no, good stuff, Dirk. I'll talk about that all day, It's... The angry sound guy pisses me off because I tried so hard not to be that guy. You know why? Because I respect the art of music, and I'm there to help the room fill with art, And if the technical crap should not get in between that. I am there to handle the technical crap. You know what I mean? And that was what I did. It's like, you guys, if you're not on stage comfortable, or if you're anxious or this and that, you're not going to make good art, And I would do my best to be, like, as transparent as possible. Like, I'm not even there, and it would just sound good, and everyone would settle in and just start making a great art, like good music. That's what I was there for, not to, blah, 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 this, that, the other thing. It's like, no, you know what? I'll deal with it. We're going to make good sounding music, and I do what I have to do to accomplish that, because I respect it, I'm not, the music is so much above the job, like, I'm there for the music, but not everyone is that dedicated, not everyone can chill out that much and manage that much, but I would try my best. And as far as in-ears, that honestly was my favorite when bands brought in-ears, and I would mix them for them. They would just give me the in-ear packs, and I would plug, my subgroups from the board out directly into their transmitters, and I would mix the in-ears for them, but it always sounded better in that room without the monitors, because it just wasn't big enough. It just wasn't a very great PA. If you took the monitoring out of the equation, especially when the band was downstairs, it always sounded better. So a lot of bands are really used to in-ears, and almost all of those cover bands used backing tracks. So, but that was maybe like 30% of the time a bigger band would bring in-ears. But, I had these clunky JBL 112 and a horn monitors, and, some graphic EQs. And, I could make that work. I think I prefer that too, though. Not wearing in-ears. If I was playing, I played drums as well, but I don't know. It's something. The kick drum. You're never gonna get the kick drum in those in-ears properly. You have to feel it. And some of the drummers would bring out that like butt blaster thing. It's like literally just every time you hit the kick, it would just vibrate under the seat to make it feel like there was some sub bass there or something. But that when I'm playing the drums, I want to feel the kick drum from the monitor. At least.
I completely agree there. Yeah, the feeling the kick's important, and on a big enough front of house when there's 18s on the floor, there's nothing like the sound of the kick coming through those, and typically you can just hear that anyway. But I've ran a bunch of live sound just with the kind of monitors you're talking about, the JBLs with I think they were 15s with just the horn, and set that stuff up with just like a simple board and amp, and like big Latin bands, and like the rock cover band I was in, I would do that. And but I just recently I did a little front of house just on a friend's practice, and they were practicing at a church, and like a really modern board, and it's actually really nice, man. Like, it's so much like producing that I already kind of knew what to do. I didn't even need, I knew like how to navigate the menus and get what I wanted, and it's pretty sweet how like you have your presets, and it'll just adjust the console, like all the levels on the console automatically. So that's I'm a little late to the game with that, but I was like, wow, this is the way to do it. So rather than the old school boards, but I mean, there's something to be said about the old technology too. That's what I'm used to mixing on, and I do like the simplicity, but you have to be quick. You got to know like where everything's at, and you get it. But anyway, man, I really appreciate the QSO here. I'm gonna take a break here, and then maybe check around maybe on 6, see if there's anything going on, and while I got a little bit of time here in between doing a few other things. But good talking to you, man. Hope to catch you again. I'm going to check out your live stream. Well, I got it pulled up right now. I'm in there, but I'm going to go back and listen to it a little bit. And, I was just thinking that my dad has this hybrid, like 10, 11 meter radio in his truck. It's a Magnum, one of those Magnum radios. And it actually sounds incredible on AM. It's really, really clean. And it gets on this frequency. I'm tempted to try that, but I don't have time right this second, but maybe tomorrow or something. But appreciate the contact. Take it easy. And 7-3, Whiskey 2 Bravo Tango Kilo from Kilo Delta Zero Victor Uniform Yankee.
All right, Dirk. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm pleased to be able to talk to someone about all this crap. Who knows what's going on. That's really fun, man. But yeah, just to button this thing up. Analog consoles, I had one. I'd have to reset it every time a band came in, dial it in from scratch, right? No recall. Then we got the digital board, and just like you're saying, flying faders. I could recall a band setup, boom, it just come up there, and that's when the club really started sounding good anyway. Yeah, get that Magnum radio out. I have one of those. They're pretty fun. I think mine has a Roger beep too. But yeah, I get on here pretty often. Usually run the live stream when I'm out here, and I'll try to fire things up tomorrow, but I think we're supposed to get some really, really heavy weather, so I'll see how it goes. But yeah, man, dude, thanks for the fine business AM QSO out here. Really cool to have a nice conversation. This far, you're out in Zero Land. Nice and comfortable. I love it, dude. So hope to catch you again soon there, Dirk. From Billy, W2BTK, 7-3, man.